this call 6 days per week, Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I am doing this on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Uber Conference. The telephone call at the very top of NAIP. It's a 888 number. You could certainly call in. My company offers a free website, free quote engines, no strings, no catches, no nothing. It's an incredibly attractive for anyone who sells financial products. In fact, anyone who's in business for themselves, it's a terrific what we're offering. We do have a couple of people on the call right now. Primarily the people that are guests on this call who have called in, have signed up for the website, and I do send out invitations. In fact, I believe Anton or Anton. Okay, Anton, I just put you on mute. I'll take you off on mute in a little bit, but I will be doing screen sharing as well in a little bit when it does, when we have something to share. But in the meantime, Anton came on this call. Anton, do you have any particular question?
No, not at this time, David. What I'm doing actually is I just got into Florida, so we'll be getting with you on that to see what we have available as far as markets out there. And so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm trying to get all 46 states.
Okay, and, let me jump in. Let me jump in before you make a huge error. Remember, your job, the average income in the United States is $1,000 a week. If you're a good salesperson, commission salesperson, you should be making double. Florida, California happens to have, between Florida, California, and Texas, you've got 30% of America right there. All these states charge a lot of fees. You've got appointment fees. The state of Florida, it's $60 to appoint for every company. If you're a non-resident, they charge you per county, some ridiculous number. I believe it's $3 per county. And all these states have appointment fees. You don't want to saddle yourself with licensing and appointment fees because that could eat up a lot of your income. Try to and it's hard to be a specialist on the products on everywhere. I would say to become a known brand, make yourself somewhat of an expert on a part of the country. Insurance agents traditionally make money. I guess it depends on the product, but let's say life insurance agents. I've seen the money coming in or the sales coming in, and I can tell you that selling these big retirement planning vehicles is how a lot of agents make money. They start with term, then they flip them over to retirement planning. Let's say, it's hard to tell people, hey, it's hard to say to someone, hey, purchase this life insurance policy. I know you're really thinking about dying in the next 20 years. Insurance companies have a tremendous tax advantage where the excess money that you put in those policies, they compound on a tax deferred basis, then eventually a tax-free basis, and they make terrific retirement pension plans. And since we are talking about people are putting in these middle to upper income, people are putting $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 a month in these type of vehicles. Being close to that person for that type of commission is not a bad idea. Through us, you make, let's say for the most part, it's the first year commission. We will get you the highest commission levels in the business. So you just made yourself a $7,000 or $8,000 commission by selling one of these type policies. Anton, I'm probably jumping ahead of myself. What type of policies do you specialize in?
Life, term, annuities.
Okay.
Life,
I get you. So, I can tell you the most successful company that I've seen the last 100 years is called New York Life. New York Life hires people for the last 100 years. They only sell New York Life. They learn the product line from A to Z. One of the reasons I am going to YouTube, where I'm massively expanding this our promotion of NAIP, our free websites, free quote engines, all that good stuff, is we have a top contract with a top 5 life insurance company in America. And I see I see where all the big companies make money from retirement planning. A lot of people come into this system. They say, hey, I need final expense. It could be that we're at the top of the search engine. If you Google the word live transfer final expense leads or selling final expense by phone, but we're at the top of the search engine for a lot of stuff, but I do see a lot of phone calls coming in for that. But I could tell you, being local is not a bad thing, because you could imagine, spending $300, $400, $500, $600 a month on a life insurance policy. For the most part, that involves a relationship, a sales pitch, a personal meeting, and that's how a lot of agents make money. And one of the things one of the things we're pushing is people to set up these websites properly, because the number one, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying, hey, this is number one when it's really not. The number one lead generation technique for the last 2,000 years has been something called incentive-based marketing, where you give people something that's super valuable to them, but really does not cost you much money. And I would say the expertise that you can possess on building websites and moving up the search engine. Believe me, I go to bars, I go to restaurants, I have friends who cut hair, fix air conditioners. All these people have websites that I've set up for them. It's taken me maybe 20, 5, 10, or 20 minutes. That's all it takes. And this is something that you could do to build relationships, to become popular in the local community. And there's no shortage of money when some business owner really believes you're a great guy. It could be a group health insurance policy. It could be a pension plan for his employees, or it could just be a retirement planning for himself. And this is definitely a way to make money. The term life, you did mention term life. Imagine waking up in the morning and saying to people, hey, you really believe you're going to die in the next 20 years. Let's take care of that. We were pushing term life for a while. We had all the companies available in the marketplace, and I just didn't see the results.
Got it.
So, but in the meantime, leads are a huge part of this business, getting in front of people. Your job as a financial service salesman is to get in front of people and to close deals. So whatever, I'm giving you my 2 cents, but whatever works. Whatever you could do to make double the average income. The average income in America is $1,000 a week. If you're doing commission sales, you really should be making double that. And that is the scoop there. In the meantime, let me see. I am on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. So, okay, Fritz is asking, can you go over how to generate leads for final expense? I'm on YouTube just like everyone else. Final expense, keep in mind, you're dealing with low-income, unsophisticated, older people. These are people that tend to forget what they did last week. Fritz, let me get you on this call. Fritz, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so that's your final expense clientele. If you're going to be a financial salesperson specializing in low-income, unsophisticated people, may not be the best long-term plan, but there are. And someone asked me last week. They said, "Hey, David, why is there so much advertising on the internet for final expense insurance agents if you're dealing with low-income, unsophisticated type people?" The issue, there's a lot of low-income, unsophisticated people who take insurance exams. They very easily pass that test. It's a 40-hour online course, very easy test, and they need jobs. There's a big thing about these marketing companies. They're actually lead selling companies. So you get into their system and they're immediately asking you how much money you have in your bank account, with the idea to empty out that bank account selling you leads. But I could tell you, as I mentioned to Anton, the number one lead generation technique for the last few thousand years is incentive-based marketing. And in fact, let me go over to screen share. Let me go over to screen share on YouTube. Let me see where that is right now. Screen share. I'm going to click screen share. Start screen sharing. Boom. Boom. Okay, we're on screen share on YouTube. I might as well show everyone my screen. I am going at the very, very top of naaip.org. Let me just go there myself. There is a click. It says the word leads. Fritz, you are on silence. Let me get you off silent. Fritz, let's not mute your phone because I definitely want to have a conversation. Fritz, can you hear me?
Conference has been completed. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, if I say a lot of outrageous things to get a reaction, to try to create some sort of excitement. If there's anything I say which you disagree with, or tell me. Sometimes I go a little bit overboard. I try to push the envelope a little bit.
Okay.
I guess it's part of being in the sales business for many years. You try to be exciting. If you're not exciting and the people fall asleep, you've definitely not done a good job. But in the meantime, I did click where it says at the very top of naaip.org, there is a click that says the word leads. I click that. If your job as an insurance agent, Fritz, is to get in front of people and to close deals. Instinctively, as an insurance agent, you probably felt that you were somewhat charismatic, that you're good at closing deals. That's the assumption anyone taking that 40-hour course. But it is a two-pronged profession. The first part is getting in front of people, and that involves lead generation. This page, nape.org/lead-service, is a Wikipedia or an encyclopedia of lead generation. It's a very good idea. In fact, it's imperative that you take your job at an academic level. If you decide not to take your job at an academic level, which is what the vast majority of new insurance agents will do, they will just get taken to the cleaners by these various marketing companies. You will suffer because of it. Realize that these marketing companies are not geniuses. They did not reinvent the wheel or invent the wheel. You could become an expert at lead generation just like they did, but you have to do stuff in your best interest, not in their best interest. As I'm scrolling from this page from top to bottom, you've got everything. You've got 4 different postcard companies. If someone says to you, "Hey, join my marketing company and I've got good postcards," you've got 4 of the major postcard companies listed here. I did speak to someone a couple of days ago. They mentioned they were getting something called fixed price leads and Walmart mailers from Need a Lead. There's a couple more listed here. The 4 biggest ones are listed here. Another one's called Lead Concepts. There's one called Kramer Direct. There's one called, what else is it? Target Leads, and there's 4 total listed. Anytime you're in any sort of business, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea to take it at an academic level. And just as an aside, I don't like making other people rich. So I did write something here that says do-it-yourself mailers. Once you figure out that postcards are for you, consult these people that have a history of sending out postcards, these 4 lead companies, but you always have to keep in the back of your mind something called do-it-yourself mailers. Number 1, here are the 5 bullet points. Consult with pros to content of postcard. Number 2, find a local printer or Google the word wholesale printing. Number 3, your image picture on mailers advertising helps. Take that advice to the bank. I did speak to a gentleman who seemed to be doing well. He claimed to be a millionaire from the insurance industry. He said it all happened when he put his wife's picture on the postcards that he was sending out. And as soon as he told me that story, I wrote that bullet point number 3. I do know we are in 2021 and text messaging, SMS is really big. Anytime I will send you an email or email or any communication or a telephone call message, I'll always, at the same time, I will do an SMS. So I would imagine on any postcard you send out, probably not a bad idea to stick, similar to what I do, I write the words, "I love SMS." and I love my text message and SMS because, if you're 82 years old, sometimes they don't know what SMS is. So you put the word twice. Number 5, go to post office, open a return reply account. You'll see how easy it is. You get a lower price, you get a higher return rate, especially if your return address is on there. If you live in Florida and the postcard company you're using is in Dallas, Texas, you can imagine these older, unsophisticated people are looking at that and they get a little bit bedazzled. So if they see something local, it does make people more feel comfortable. If you look good, or your wife looks good, or someone looks good in your family, definitely considering it. If one of those 4 major postcard companies are willing to do what I've just described, maybe it's best to continue with them. But talk to these people, and they will. The big advantage they have is they know the response rate percentages based on the wording of a particular postcard. And that's postcards. Final Expense traditionally uses postcards. When you're 60s, when you're 70, 80 years old, one of the big things they do during the day is go to their mailbox. They get real excited. I've heard that does pretty well in the Final Expense realm. The other thing that Final Expense agents are from these other marketing companies are encouraging are Facebook leads. Let me just see who's on this call. And Fritz, what I'm saying is that pretty much what you've been told as well, that it's postcards and Facebook leads when it comes to Final Expense.
Okay.
Is that pretty accurate?
Mailers, yes.
Okay, mailers, but you just got to do what's best for you. Take it with a grain of salt. If a marketing company is pushing you to buy leads from them, you really should be in charge of your destiny and your business. Okay. Facebook leads is not something you even have to consult with anyone for, because it's so darn easy. We click at the very top of NAIP. I've got here, as we scroll down, it says other services. On our lead dash services page, let me see where it talks about Facebook. Facebook library of competitors advertising. Ever since the 2016 election, Facebook has made all advertising public information. You could very easily see what other companies are doing for any particular keyword. You punch in the word Final Expense or whatever you're advertising. If you see a company that's advertising in all 50 states for a long time and they seem like a big company based on this click where it says must see for any marketer, you can imagine they're probably succeeding on that advertisement. It's always a good idea to imitate to a certain extent. I can't say the word copy. Copy, I guess, is copyright laws, but imitate to a certain extent people that are doing well, people that have experience in this business. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out, hey, if these people are doing a video and they've been doing it for the last 5 years and you call them up and they have 50 telemarketers on the phone, they probably know what they're doing. You may not know how to make a video on a Facebook advertisement, but if you click around this right in the same area where it says world's largest outsourcing portal, 18 million registered freelancers, that takes you to Upwork.com. Right below that, it mentions Fiverr outsourcing portal, more geared to specific tasks, graphics, etc. You could very easily get someone to make that video for you. You could get people to run your Facebook campaign. I believe the Facebook advertising is so darn easy. You should not even have someone outsource. You should manage it yourself. There's another click here. You can imagine Facebook is a relatively successful company, relatively successful. You can imagine they made it relatively easy for you to give them money. And they did come up with their Facebook University for advertising. And it mentions here, Facebook leads are 102,019 Facebook leads by local clients. If you click this goes to Facebook's very long PDF, which is their Facebook University, which explains how to use their system. One of the good things about Facebook is you could start off at $2 a day. When you feel comfortable that you know what you're doing, you could boost up that ad campaign to $10, $20, $100. et cetera, et cetera. I do have something here about live transfer leads as well, and which involves telemarketing. But I would say, Fritz, having the skill set means you're good at this job. Is by far the most important thing. This job, for the most part, you have to identify what the job is, which is getting in front of people, closing deals. The skill set, for the most part, is being a good closer. Actually, it's being good face-to-face, being good on a face-to-face basis, and good telephonically. A lot of right now in the United States of America, there's a lot of people that have accents. Ideally, when you're in the financial service sales business, it's always best to deal with people. You are selling yourself. So if you could find people who incredibly respect you and look up to you as some sort of financial guru, that is the best situation. If you've got an accent, it's hard to convince people that maybe not so respectful of your accent to say, hey, I'm the smartest guy in the world. But if you could pull that off, God bless you, life is good. It's definitely easier to do it with people that respect you as some sort of genius. And it's easier to do if you've got better language skills than they have. But this is completely your business. One of the things that I personally am pushing more than anything else is this website stuff. And this is a way to have people incredibly respect you as a professional, but that's really only for retirement planning, index universal life, big whole life policies, group health for companies, et cetera, because a 75-year-old old woman doesn't really care about a website for her business. But there are a couple more things let me just mention on this page about leads. Let me get over to this page, but Facebook leads, postcard leads, do it efficiently and you will get good results. But we always have to harken back to incentive-based marketing and try to think of stuff you could give to people that will cause you to like them. I know in the state of Florida, there's a $100 limit, which is the most you're allowed to give to people. According to the phone conversation I had with the Department of Insurance, state of Florida, up to $100 you're allowed to give them to cause them to meet you. You can't put it on an advertisement. Fill out this form and I'll give you $101. It has to be less than $100. In the state of California, based on my research, there's no limitation on that whatsoever. I suppose the other 48 states are all over the place on the limitations. It's probably a good idea to know what exactly what it is. In the state of Florida, there are insurance agents that know they cannot give over $100. They don't even get close to that if it's an ambiguous prize or present. But on referrals, there are no limitations. So when you get into the person's house, write out a list of 5 or 10 people, and I'll give you this free vacation. So if we click where it says incentive-based marketing, that takes you to marketingboost.com. This is a company that gives away free hotels, free restaurants, and a bunch of other stuff. And even though they say the word free, it involves taxes and fees, but they do have a bunch of good videos on their site, which you could publish elsewhere. But I do know in the state of Florida that would be problematic because the value of the vacation will be construed as to be over $100. In the state of California, it would not be a problem according to the research I did. But when you get into this government regulation stuff, it's always good to double check. Specifically for final expense people, put yourself in their shoes. Remember, you're dealing with a 60, 70-year-old low-income person who watches TV quite often all day. They don't have a lot of money in the bank. These are the people, or they don't have any money in the bank. Their main concern on the final expense is not having their relatives pass the hat. So we are talking about people who are very low income, very unsophisticated. So we've got here, help these people out. Of course, everyone's looking for a friend. People that have no money in the bank and they're 75, 80 years old, oftentimes no one visits them. If you've got a rich uncle, this guy has so many nephews and nieces that are always want to say hello, but because he has a nice house and a nice pool in the backyard and everyone wants to visit. But that's the final expense market is the exact opposite. So we have to think of what we could do to help out these people. Being their friend is probably a great way to do it. And that's why when you set up these websites, highlighting yourself is a great idea. Making your picture and your persona front and center. The website that we have for you has video at the top. I personally, if I was in this business, I would put a video of myself at the very top. This way to get myself, I'm more of a connection with the people that I'm dealing with. But I do mention on this in naip.org/lead-services. Let me see what it says here. A great idea. Free last will and testament. NAIP will walk you through the implementation. You can imagine someone who is destitute and you're there talking about their funeral arrangements or their life insurance to pay for these funeral arrangements. They're speaking about their last stuff they're going to do on planet Earth. So getting stuff in order is really why you're there. So offering them a free last will and testament seems like a logical place to go, and it does not cost you any money or much money. If you scroll down to the bottom of naaip.org, there is a company listed there. There's a click there called doyourownwill.com. You could very easily set up a last will and testament for anyone. You could become a notary public. You could carry a portable printer in the trunk of your car, and that's something that will cause people. I guess you'll be offering a valuable service to people, especially if you have a file cabinet in your home office, and eventually you get to 500, 600, 700 copies of will. You will be relatively popular in the local community. I did talk about accents and dealing with people that have your accent, they'll respect you more. Believe me, if you're providing the people a valuable service, they don't care what accent you have. And let me just get out to mention other stuff. So that's just imagine what these people are going through. Let me see what it says here. It mentions about last will and testament. I like this idea so much. I told my programmer to build a last will and testament. We've done it already. We just have to upload it to the site. So Fritz, you'll wake up I would say another couple of weeks that you'll see a last will and testament at the bottom of every NAAIP website that you don't care about every website. It'll be on your website. It'll have the same thing where it'll say hide or display. We'll probably make it default as display initially. On your website, it'll be at the very bottom. Just wait a couple of weeks for that. But please do not wait for my program to do that. Your job is to make money. Another great idea, it mentions right here, a concierge service for ex-clients. Help your client get best prices on casket, tombstones, etc. Be an expert. You can imagine, again, the same thing. These people are thinking about their last days on planet Earth and not being a bother to their family, their loved ones, and they don't want these people passing a hat. There is a FTC regulation which states that funeral homes must accept outside places for casket, tombstones, etc. You can imagine the federal government got involved in this because an 80-year-old person who just lost his 70-year-old wife is under tremendous stress and pressure. He's easy prey to be taken to the cleaners. So the federal government is there to protect, in that instance, is protecting people. If you do a roundabout of the local funeral homes, and you should know exactly what these people are going through. You should say, hey, what happens when you walk in? I suppose if you're in your 40s or 30s, 40s, or 50s, they may act different to you than they would to someone who is in their 80s. But do the best to find out exactly what these people are going through. And it's not a bad idea immediately afterwards when you see the prices of the caskets and the tombstones, Google the word online caskets, online tombstones, online whatever else you could think of, whatever else these people are trying to sell you at the local funeral home. what I'm trying to say is be an expert of this industry, know exactly what these people are going through. I suppose when you discover that you could save people a tremendous amount of money by steering people in the right direction, Fritz, you could honestly call yourself an expert. You could honestly say, I am a concierge. I offer a concierge service for people going through this situation, and you could publish this on your website. The website that we offer is completely editable. You may have heard me say one of the main bullet points of moving up the search engine is to have original content. And original content is exactly what it says. It's original. So please take advantage of all this good stuff, and come across as an expert. That's really what it comes down to. People love to deal with experts. Okay, I know that was a long-winded explanation, Fritz, but hopefully you'll take it to heart. The most important thing is to implement it.
Yes.
Yeah, we know what to do. We know what to do to make a living. You need to come across as an expert in some shape, matter, or form.
Okay.
If you could think of anything else, what these people are going through that you're knocking on the door. There's a couple of other lead generation techniques. We are after this pandemic. We're at the tail end of this pandemic. I suppose everyone in Palm Beach County who wanted to already got an immunization. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you could actually knock on doors. The friendly people, the way people are, when people have nice houses and they're rich, they've got multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, they're generally not friendly. That's probably because they've got stuff to, they've got a lot of entertainment. They've got money. If they want to be entertained, they could book a cruise. But low-income people, when you knock on their door, they are friendly. So what I would suggest is if the two skill sets that one needs to be good to make a average to above double the average income, is you need to be good telephonically. You need to be good over the phone. You know what to do to get good telephonically. If you sit in front of your computer the next 6 months and you call people from morning till night in an intense higher pressure atmosphere, at the end of 6 months, you will be good on the phone. On that page about lead generation, I do have example sales scripts. I've got database recommendations. I've got CRMs and phone systems also linked there. But getting good face-to-face is a little bit harder. One of the ways you can get good face-to-face is by doing a lot of face-to-face. But how do you do that? Door knocking specifically to older, lower income people. These are people that are home during the day. And if you click on this page, I believe it says something about door knocking. Door knocking, carrier out data is huge for door knockers. Be like a UPS driver and say that you are following up on a mailer that was sent already. I made a click here to ValisysList.com, which sells that data. Use a sticky note about a missed delivery. Give Office Depot image copy. I'm not sure if that's good. Give Office Depot image copy to make something. You give them a post-it notes, or you click here where you could buy from shopthealliance.com, or click while you're at the depot, get a laminated badge with your license number from Circon and a passport photo on the flip side. You're making a badge. You also have door hangers. There's a click here for doorhangers.com. I do have to go into my system, rewrite this sentence because I hardly understand what it says. But the idea is you make a sticky note, you put it on the door about a missed delivery. And if you're in a marketplace, let's say these low-income neighborhoods are being inundated with postcards. It's not very difficult to say, hey, I am following up on a postcard that was sent to you. You could give an example of a postcard that was sent to them. It doesn't necessarily mean that you sent it. It just means you know that they were sent a postcard from someone. If these people are being sent multiple postcards on a regular basis, why would you even send a postcard? Does that make sense, Fritz?
Yes.
If you could have that value added, which no one else is doing, the last will and testament, the concierge service, the expertise of what these people are going through, you are head and shoulders above anyone else in your marketplace. And I suppose I do recall I was living in Miami a while back, and I remember there was a gentleman who sold houses. His name was Ralph. Every park bench, bus bench, bus benches are all over the place. All over the place. I still remember it. This was multiple years ago. I still remember it. All the bus benches mentioned Ralph sells homes, and it had his picture. He was selling himself, and he was trying to do something that people remember him. He had red hair as well. You remember there's not too many people with red hair, so you remember this guy. He had a short, sweet name. His last name was only 4 or 5 letters, and it just had a nice ring to it where I remember it 20, 30 years later, which is pretty effective. If you can remember something 30 years later, imagine if word gets out that Fritz provides free last will and testament concierge service, and just as an aside, he gets people really good deals on final expense insurance. That seems like a somewhat successful technique to cause people to remember you.
Okay.
But the trick is really to be an expert, to be known as an expert in your industry, and good things will happen. As an aside, we are very strong with one major final expense company. I've made a corporate decision not to mention on this YouTube, Facebook live stream the name of any company. We offer game-changing, much higher commissions than anyone else in the business, and it tends to get these other marketing companies pretty darn jealous, and they realize they cannot build this website technology that we give to you. So what's the best thing they could do is complain to the insurance companies to try to get rid of my company, or at least get our contracts canceled. So I will just mention to you, if you are into really good deals on commissions, all you got to do is send me an email with the word "send me contracting for a final expense," and I will get over to that game-changing recruiter level contract for the final expense company that we are pushing. And we go from there. Okay, we do have additional people on this call. Let me see who else is on this call. Remember, I'm on YouTube live stream. The easiest way to find us, if you Google the word YouTube, I guess NAIP live stream, and the live stream will pop up at the top. Every email that I send out will mention that. The phone calls that we have, how do I do that? I've decided to make a big push for YouTube. Let me just see what YouTube looks like right now. I don't even see how this works. Right here, it says one watching live stream. Okay, whatever that is. But if you want to call us at the very top of NAAIP.org, there is a phone number there. It's a 888 number. You can call me. But I'm doing screen sharing. Actually, I'm doing screen sharing on Uber Conference, but I'm going to stop the video on Uber Conference. I want people to go to YouTube to see me. And that's where I do screen sharing as well, which is only on YouTube. And if you happen to be on our Facebook page, you can see it there as well on Mindy's Facebook page. But the main place we're trying to build up is YouTube. So please go to our YouTube page. You could see me and you could see my screen. And I will be here 6 days per week, Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday and Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But we're really trying to get people to use our website technology. The website technology that we're offering is second to none. You can't get better. Multiple quote engines, multiple templates. The secret sauce of moving up the search engine is original content. And you might as well make your website that you signed up for original. There's over 13,000 people that have signed up for this the last couple of years. You can imagine if you don't change the content, for the most part, your website is duplicated or copied content, which is a red flag that you're not such a professional company, which means it will not move up. The phone number is right here. If you want to have a conversation, it's 888-532-9320. But in the meantime, there's only a couple of us on this call right now. There's also someone here from Pueblo, Colorado. What is your name in Colorado? Okay, we are good. We also have Mr. Jose from Massachusetts. Hello, Jose from Massachusetts.
Hello, Dave.
Okay, your website is set up. I know, it's an extra step to make that stuff original, which would probably make it more likely to get hits on Google. You have an accent and your first name is Jose. I assume you speak Spanish. If you want to edit the website to put Spanish in there, I've seen it and I've seen people do that and it seems pretty successful. You're more than welcome to edit to whatever your client base is. One of the easiest things to do once you've got this website on your own domain name, which Jose does have, is to get on Google Local. So if you Google the word local business, Google register or something to that effect, definitely register as a local business. They will send you a postcard, put it in the secret code, and suddenly you'll appear on Google Local, which also gets you on Google Maps. Once you're set up with Google properly, you register similar on Bing. I suppose you Google the word register my business for Bing. It's called Bing Places. So Jose, make sure you do that now that you've got your website set up properly. And that's pretty easy to do. So it's something that you should take care of. Okay, let me see what I'm right now. I'm on. Let me see how this works. I just signed up for this company called Restream, and I'm not even sure how this works. I'm doing screen sharing right now, so you actually see what I'm saying. And let me see how this works. Private chat. Let me see what this is. Invite guests. Play local video. Connect Zoom. Settings. Okay, let me put some captions. Hey, please like, subscribe. Create your free forever website. I'll put that on boom. Create your free forever website in quarters at naaip.org. That's a caption I just put on. I'm trying to learn how to use this system. And I also have the option of putting graphics. I can do, what does it say for setup? Chat. Social comments, display here. We got a gentleman named okay, my buddy Dwayne Jeter. Dwayne, I've seen his picture. He happens to be a handsome guy. I guess he says he's happy that he sees what I look like. Austin Hill. It says the word, some bad words. We've got someone in our office has 4,700 friends on Facebook. We're particularly targeting, I should say she's particularly becoming friends with the various people who've signed up for these multi-level marketing companies. I will not name any of them by name, but multi-level marketing means when you have a downline of a downline of a downline. Eventually, if you're too far of the downline, it's not a happy ending. And we all want to be happy in life. So these multi-level marketing companies, for whatever weird reason, they've used Facebook to recruit agents and to get their agent base all excited. But at the same token, all their agents are sitting ducks. They're ducks in a row. So so what my company does is we come in with free forever website technology. There's no strings, no catches, no nothing. You might as well sign up. You might as well put the website on your own domain name. You might as well do the proper steps to move up the search engine. This seems like a pretty basic thing for anyone in business. If you want to get ambitious, you can use this as an incentive-based marketing technique, which means you could offer these websites to business owners, but that's primarily going to be if you represent a major retirement planning focused life insurance companies that offers index universal life or big whole life policies, or that type of stuff. Not really the final expense market, but these websites are definitely something that, and this is something that seems obvious to me that you should be offering to the general public. You should be well known in something, that you do a value added service to your people in your local community. Apparently, these other companies have not. No one's doing this. So these marketing companies, these multi-level marketers, these people that are recruiting people, they are shivering in their pants that we're offering something that hypothetically should cause all their recruited agents to sign up for our system. And as a matter of fact, as an aside, almost in a leave it to beaver, aw shucks. By the way, we offer anyone game-changing, super high commission levels on XYZ insurance company. Numbers don't lie. If someone offers you 5% more money, or 10% or 20 or 50% more money, you might as well take it. Life is short. Better in your pocket than these multiple uplines of uplines of uplines. So this gentleman, let me see how this works. How do I do this? I do show. Okay, that was, I don't even know how to use it. That's Dwayne's comment, and we got this guy who typed it. I could show it. We got a gentleman that says Austin Hill. He says the word SCAMM. And I said, I'm just taking a guess. I assume he's part of some sort of multi-level recruiting type company, and he's not offering what we're offering. I'm making that assumption. I may be wrong, but it's on Facebook. They verify, people. So, that's probably his real name and all that other good stuff. Okay. Who else we have to, let's see who else is on this call as I'm trying to figure out how to use this. We got Pueblo, Colorado. Someone from Colorado. What is your name? Okay, Jose, I'm going to take off. It's a little bit quiet. I've been here for 57 minutes. I will be here tomorrow, Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I do appreciate y'all coming here today. On Facebook, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and help me become a star, because when I was a little boy, I always wanted to be a star. It has not happened. And I suppose if you give real good technology to needed tools to tens of thousands of people who are trying to make a living, that it should not be that hard to become a star, giving away really good stuff to tens of thousands of insurance agents. So Jose, if you could go on my YouTube channel, you could Google the word NAAIP live stream. If you could subscribe and make a nice comment, it would be mightily appreciated.
I will do that, Dave. Definitely.
Thank you so much, and I will get going. Let me shut this off on YouTube, and let me see where it says stop sharing. I guess I put the word